Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to my favorite movies by Stephen King. It's also going to be the best and worst of the Stephen King movies as well. So let's just go on ahead and get this thing in while I can. So the first thing I want to talk about is the best movies that are based off of a Stephen King novel. So I'm gonna go on ahead and say that The Shining is one of my favorite movies that was adapted from a book to a movie. Now I'm not gonna judge this movie based off of a book, but I am gonna. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end up talking to you about it as someone that saw it as a movie and not as a book. So here's the deal. So basically, you have this guy named Jack. Jack is also played by Jack Nicholson, who is an alcoholic. He's a recovering alcoholic, a matter of fact, and he's been sober for a while, and he winds up deciding the best place to actually um, do well, basically write his novel is go on ahead and go to Colorado and be a caretaker for this hotel. Now, whenever you're being a caretaker at this hotel, you're also this is how it goes down. Um, there's a snowstorm that's happening. No, you can't get in, you can't get out. You're stuck at this hotel until the end of winter. And then basically after the end of winter, that's the end of your job, and then you can just go back to doing what you're doing. So, anyways, his wife's also played by Shelley Duvall, and I felt like that her character is terrible as far as her performance was and stuff like that. I didn't feel like that she did a very good job of portraying his wife at all. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to say that you know, if I was Jack Nicholson or the character Jack, I would want to kill her myself, and that's not very good because you want to defend the wife in this movie because of the fact that she's been through a lot with this guy, including your son, who has actually, you know, who has this gift of the shining, where he can actually has this he actually has a imaginary friend that he talks to and stuff like that. He can also see ghosts and stuff like that. And I feel like that you have to at least try and defend this person. And to me, I can't defend this person at all because of the fact that she's just so annoying to the point to where I don't even want to even bother because she's just so whiny. Now, on the other hand, and everything, I like the horror element to this movie. I feel like you're trapped in this hotel for all through winter. I feel cold. I feel like I'm isolated from civilization. I don't know what I'm going to do about this whole entire situation where my kid can talk to go. He has this whole entire shining thing that's going on too. So therefore, you don't really know what to do. And then not only that, but he's also an recovering alcoholic too. So he's able to. So therefore, he's talking to the ghost and everything. Jack Nicholson is, and he winds up um, talking to this ghost, and he winds up keeps giving him drinks after drink after drink, and pretty soon he winds up becoming back into his state of mind where he's an alcoholic again, and he winds up trying to kill his wife and his kid because of how annoying they are or whatever. But anyways, I feel like this is the best horror movie element if you're looking for something that's actually going to be scary and that you actually want to be scared, get scared and everything. I think this is the perfect movie for you. And not only that, but it's also a classic. I mean, you can't go wrong with Jack Nicholson going that shit crazy and everything, and you know, just just trying to kill his wife and kid. But anyways, that's one of my favorite movies. Then you also have The Green Mile about this guy who winds up getting framed for a murder that he didn't commit or anything like that, and he's thrown in jail and he's pretty much getting ready to be executed. And nobody believes that he's innocent or anything like that because don't forget, in prison, everybody believes that they're innocent. So therefore, pretty much you're screwed because no one's going to take your side. No one's going to believe you unless you actually have a good lawyer and stuff like that. This movie is actually fantastic. The chemistry with Tom Hanks and Michael Clark Duncan was very spot on. Now, I never read the book, and like I said, I don't want to do this comparing it to anything or anything like that. But just the chemistry alone between these two people, I can actually feel the pain and the emotion of the characters and how Tom Hanks is able to carry himself as a cop because I feel like that I can believe that Tom Hanks is a cop and that he's actually trying to do something good for this prisoner and everything. And it's just very heartwarming. It's very, it's heartwarming in a way to the point where I have to say, because of Michael Clark Duncan's character and the way he portrayed it and everything. I mean, you're going to be crying by the end of this movie. And yes, this is not even a horror movie or anything like that. This is just one of those movies where you're just going to be taken back a little bit and you're going to wind up crying. It's very an emotional roller coaster with this whole entire deal. And I have to say, if you haven't seen The Green Mile by now, you need to check it out. Regardless of the fact that Stephen King may not be for you or anything like that, I recommend it just for the story basis alone. And that's also to go with the stand, not the stand. What's that movie called? Oh, Stand by Me. These are about this is like a coming of age thing for kids and stuff like that. You're in this pretty much these kids are around this campfire, and what they're doing is they're telling different stories and different short stories, stuff like that, around the campfire and things like that. It's a coming of age movie where they're all hanging out and just having a good time with each other and things like that, and trying to get away from whatever responsibilities that they have as kids. And I felt like I feel like I can actually I can actually relate myself to each one of these characters. And this movie is just fantastically well done. It's well put. The pacing of it is great for a coming of age movie because I can actually tell that this is a coming of age movie just because of the fact that you can actually relate to how you once were when you were little compared to now. And I just think this is just a fantastic movie all around. And like I said, if you haven't seen this movie, it's very underrated because of the fact that no one really saw this movie. And I feel like that you guys will actually enjoy this movie for what it is. Um, I also want to talk about a couple of the miniseries as well. Now, Stephen King's It, The Stand is played by Tim Curry. You also have the guy who played John Boy in The Waltons. Then you also have a couple of other actors and everything else. But, okay, the first half of this movie will scare you to death because you can actually feel the whole entire horror element to this movie where the kids are actually afraid of this monster that's living in the sewers that's feeding off of them. And if they don't do anything, they're going to be next. Now, I actually love the first half of this movie. The first half of the movie is scary. Then you get into the second half of the movie, and it seems like the clown, Tim Curry's wise, doing parlor tricks rather than adults. And to me, it doesn't even do that I actually saw whenever I did. Now, you see, like I said, mostly I can enjoy the first half and do away with the second half of the movie. This is also why I have a remake of this movie, just because it's a 1,779 page book. I know a lot of there um, to this movie that you can actually do having to do it again on TV. Most people are saying, "Oh, leave it alone," but who did this movie never read the book, never even to their own, and it ended up doing well. And then after that second half, it fell apart. I'd rather go in and take over on this thing and let someone else tell the story because right in the right way. And I just feel like that they butchered the town history, that everything else wrong. So they go and check this movie out. The first half. Skip because you're going to be totally let down by the ending and by the pacing of the movie. I'm also going to get into a couple of that you may have or may have not. Is going to be okay. So basically, what I was trying to say was then my next thing that I'm going to end up talking about is movies that maybe you may have may not have heard of as well. Is, well, Shawshank Redemption. This is another one of those movies where it stars where it's kind of like what The Green Mile is, but it's a lot different. You have a guy that's an alcoholic, um, going to prison for killing his wife and everything, and then he was actually set up. He wasn't even killed his wife or anything like that. He was actually an innocent person. Spoiler alert, sorry. But anyways, he winds up in jail, and he's pretty. Then he winds up being faced with Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman, and he goes, "I'm innocent." He goes, "Everybody's innocent here." And that's actually you see Tim Robbins going from this guy who's one to meet of everybody and everything because he's in prison and he doesn't want to get raped. He doesn't want anything to happen to him. He's wondering what he's going to do, but he's not letting his emotions show at all. He's very quiet at the very beginning of this thing because he's taking it all in and he's wondering what he's going to do, which to me is actually pretty cool. He meets up with Red, which is played by Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is a guy on the inside who can get him stuff. He asks him for some weird stuff at the beginning, and of course, Morgan Freeman, he winds up doing it and stuff like that. You don't even realize why he's asking for this stuff until like the very end, the payoff. The payoff is very well done. It's a very good twist at the end of it. Like I said, if you haven't seen this movie should have won an Academy Award and not Forrest Gump because of the way that it was, because of the way this whole entire thing was lined up. And I think that you guys are going to end up enjoying this movie. Now, The Stand is also another miniseries that I'm going to end up talking about. The Stand is, I think, maybe a 4-part or 5-part miniseries. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I remember watching it. I actually rented it from Blockbuster, and I never really understood the whole entire deal, what was going on. So, anyways, I watched this maybe about 3 years ago. And I love this movie. This movie actually has a lot of layers to it. You have each character. One character is going towards the devil. The other one's going towards God and stuff like that. And these people are going to clash later on. And I love the build for this because each thing is something new and something exciting about each one of these characters to the point where you can actually relate to some of them, some of the characters. And I just have to say, I mean, this movie is very well done. The pacing is well done. And this is just a miniseries, a 4 or 5-part miniseries that's actually fantastic. I would actually go on ahead and try and find this on Hulu or Amazon Prime or somewhere where you can actually watch this movie and watch it for what it is. And yes, they are remaking this movie, and there was a bunch of rumors at first that Matthew McConaughey was going to be Randall, but I'm not 100% sure if that's actually going to be, if that's actually going to happen now, considering the fact he's going to be the Man in Black for the Dark Tower movie that's starring Idris Elba and him. So, I'm happy either way it goes. At least we're actually going to get a little bit more flavor to The Stand than what we did with than what we got before. But I think that you guys are going to enjoy The Stand. Then I want to actually talk about. Let's see what else am I going to talk. Okay, now I'm going to get into the movies that I didn't really care for. And hold on. Let me back up a little bit more. I want to get into one more thing. Pet Sematary will scare the pants off you. And I mean that in a good way because that movie is just scary. The little boy inside that thing in that movie is just scary. Just looking at him makes me not even want to even be near that house or near that cemetery or anything like that. It's based off of Indian ground and everything. And basically what happens is you bury a cat, your cat, the cat comes back to life, but not the way that you remembered. And then when you're laying around, when you're laying down in bed, you're hearing creaks in the house and everything. And, you can actually think that that's actually the kid that's in the house with you or the cat that you buried, that the cat house with you. That's the kind of horror movies that I like something that has a build to it. I like to scare me. I like something that's going to end up making me wonder, is that how movie is about to scare me and try and kill me. Horror that I love. But this movie is something that I would actually check out. And it will make, if you have a date, is going to end up protecting you from whatever that's in the movie. That movie. Now, I'm actually going to talk about Cujo. Now, Cujo is in my worst movies because to me, there's something really scary about a dog who has died. And I'm not trying to bash anyone who has really beast and had to put him down or anything like that. It's just that for me, I find this movie that scary at all. I feel pretty much bored this movie because I didn't feel any emotional attachment to the characters. I didn't feel no build towards this movie at all. He winds up getting rabies in the first 5-10 minutes of the movie. Then he winds up attacking the spin, and it just falls apart. And I just didn't like the movie at all. And that's actually in one of my worst movies. Then I know I'm going to be jumping along here, so just bear with me. But I forgot to mention Christine, and I actually read the book Christine and compare it now. All right, so I'm going to go on ahead and get back into this thing again. Sorry. For some reason, it's those movies where turn into like rock and roll, like that, like old 1960s music. And then you have this star that's named Christine. She's pretty much like the jealous girlfriend that you never really want because she's psycho. And except for one thing, this is your car that wants to kill the people that you're with. And I really enjoyed this movie because this is a demon possessed car, pretty much. And in a date with someone and she winds up talking crap about your car or anything like that, the girl does, that's it. Game over. You might as well just not even bring her inside the car or anything like that. You might as well just go on ahead and just say adios. I'm going back. I'm going to drop you off because that's game over. Because the car's going to wind up killing you. And I felt like, you know, I felt scared about this movie and everything too, because it's a killer car. How many people actually go out driving who has cars and stuff and everything? So I mean, come on, you're gonna end up being scared of something with this movie. So that's that movie, and then of course I'm gonna get down to like the last couple of movies that I didn't really like. I didn't like. I didn't like the dark half too much. I never felt like it was scary enough for me to actually say that this movie scared me. I also didn't like Lawnmower Man. Um, I didn't like Lawnmower Man. I didn't like Cujo. Then there's the movie Thinner, which is a movie that I didn't really care for or enjoy, but it's just one of those things where it just didn't appeal to me. So with that being said, that's going to be the end of my list, and I'm sorry for the way that this video turned out because I was expecting it to be a lot better than what it is. But hopefully on the next video that I do and everything, I won't lose internet connection. So anyways, with that being said, don't forget to click like and subscribe, and have a good day.